Welcome to the Camp Nou. Carlos Gomez will be our referee tonight. Before we get underway, we will have a moment's reflection here. Well, our thoughts continue to be with the families and friends of those who perished in that terrible football tragedy in Egypt this week. And so Barcelona are kicking off 10 points. Yes, a repeat, 10 points behind league leaders Real Madrid. Needless to say, it's a must-win for Messi and co here, as Barcelona seek to extend their fabulous home league record. 10 home league games, 9 wins. A draw against Sevilla, 43 goals scored in the process, 2 conceded. There won't be a third there. And it was a positive start by Real Sociedad. It was a regulation catch in the end for Victor Valdez. Back in this Barcelona side, it's a most interesting selection from Pep Guardiola. There's a first La Liga start for 20-year-old Christian Tello, while number 23 Isaac Cuenca keeps his place from the midweek starting 11 in the Cup semi-final at Valencia. Just going through shot that experienced substitutes bench, but not only Tello and Cuenca starting tonight, but Thiago and Dos Santos. So a number of the young Barca starlets getting their head tonight against a more experienced Real Sociedad side, who themselves are giving a full La Liga debut to 19-year-old Ruben Pardo, who has been playing for the Real Sociedad B team by and large this season. Has made a few fleeting substitute appearances in La Liga, but his first start in the league tonight. Here's Cuenca. Messi, unless he's injured, always seems to start. It has to be said, Terry, that he looked out of sorts and almost withdrawn in that cup game at Valencia in midweek, Lionel Messi.
Yep, he almost looked human, didn't he? But, at times he was caught overdoing it. I think he was desperate to drive his team on. Of course, he missed the penalty as well. So Jonathan Dos Santos there. He had a challenge, and Aaron Baru. But they do rely so heavily on Lionel Messi. He certainly does produce the goods 99% of the time. And they need him to have a big game tonight. 10 points behind Real Madrid. They can't afford to lose any more ground. Real Sociedad, good run of form themselves at the moment. So it's work to be done for Barcelona, particularly in the early stages of the game, to take control and get a grip of this match.
First of 7 games in all competitions Barca have got before the month of February is out. And there's more than a nod in the direction of that cup semi-final second leg here on Wednesday against Valencia. 1-1 from the first leg in Guardiola's selection this evening. Nice turn from Cuenca. Messi, Fabregas trying to slide that through to Thiago. Cesc Fabregas is the oldest of Barcelona's front 6 tonight. Tells you something about the youth in this man's lineup.
I was looking with interest to see who's going to take on the Busquets role in midfield. It doesn't appear to be Cesc Fabregas, it doesn't appear to be Thiago, it doesn't appear to be Jonathan Dos Santos. No obvious holding midfield player. And Pep Guardiola, I think, is aware that out of those 3 players, none of them are a straight swap for Sergio Busquets. So I think he's quite content to have all 3 players rotating positions, getting forward, taking turns. Of course, he still wants them to dominate possession like Xavi, Iniesta and Busquets would.
It's going to be fascinating to see the balance of this Barcelona team. I think when the team sheet was delivered to Real Sociedad, they can't help but have been buoyed by the fact that players such as Xavi and Busquets and Abidal and Piqué, Alexis, all on the bench. And this is the young French youth international, Griezmann, trying to find Xavi Prieto. It's broken up here by Adriano. Now Messi. Fabregas has gone on ahead of him. Here is Cesc Fabregas. Oh, and it's lucky for Messi, and it's a good save from Claudio Bravo. Real good fortune as the ball landed at the feet there of Lionel Messi. And Bravo with the first important save of, I suspect, a few here.
Did he love that chance to have been in the back of the net, wouldn't they, Barcelona? Certainly Lionel Messi.
Good ball by Griezmann, and they're in here. Real Sociedad, and an important save now by Victor Valdez to deny Diego Ifran. Chance at either end.
It was a good run off the back of the two central defenders, Mascherano and Carlos Puyol. And there we see the first chance for Messi. Tries to link up with Fabregas. Good fortune favours him. He finds himself one-on-one against Claudio Bravo. Doesn't really do an awful lot. We're used to seeing him just dink it over the goalkeeper.
Header on by Xavi Prieto right across the face of that Barcelona goal. Just needed someone in a blue and white striped shirt. There might have been an opening goal for Real Sociedad, who played very well when the sides met. You may remember at the Anoeta back in September, Barcelona were 2 up after 11 minutes. The game ended 2-2. Been a bit of a roller coaster season. His first in charge for the Frenchman Philippe Montagnier. Here's Puyol. Barcelona beaten only once in all competitions this season, back in November at Getafe. Couldn't do them a favour in the Madrid derby earlier, as Real Madrid stretched that lead to 10 points. Courtesy of a Sergio Ramos header. This is Alves. Messi with too much room in which to turn from Sociedad's point of view. Eventually they plug the gaps. Terrific play from Puyol.
That's one of their two defenders on the halfway line, playing on the right wing position now, Carlos Puyol. He does really lead this team. He epitomises everything that Pep Guardiola wants to see from his players. Endeavour, fantastic ability. One of the best defenders in the world, but showed a good turn of speed there, good skill down the right flank.
Messi. Teo was impressed in a few fleeting substitute appearances so far. 20-year-old Christian Teo got electric pace, operating on the front of the, or on the left of the front three. Here he is, back with Adriano.
We've seen the setup from Real Sociedad, as usual. Teams come to the Camp Nou. It's a narrow back four and then a midfield five in front of them. Just different. Uruguayan striker up front on his own. Players like Griezmann and Xavi Prieto. And Pardo going to try and get to him as close as possible. So with a narrow back four, it's really important that Dani Alves and Adriano time their runs. Barcelona make most of that width.
Here's Ifran, the Uruguayan, losing out to Mascherano. Stolen here by Griezmann. Mascherano into good effect again. Fabregas. Thiago for Adriano. Teo ahead of him. Adriano prefers to look in field, and this is Dos Santos. Thiago, Messi. Teo making a run. Look how quick he is! And he scores! His first ever start in La Liga, and Christian Teo gives Barcelona the lead in the 9th minute. The assist from Messi.
Well, it's a fantastic finish from the youngster to give Barcelona a vital lead. And he uses his pace, uses his intelligence to stay on side as well. And he trusts that Lionel Messi is going to find him with an inch-perfect pass. It's exactly what Messi does. And it's a lovely little finish from the youngster. Doesn't go for power. Knows to go underneath the goalkeeper as Bravo comes out to narrow the angle. Just gets it nice and accurate and rolls it into the back of the net.
It's his 3rd goal, incidentally, this season. His previous 2 had come in the Copa del Rey. So a full La Liga debut brings his debut goal in the Spanish Primera Division. Here's Markel Bagara, cut out by Adriano.
Shoddy defending though from El Sociedad, Kevin. Initially the ball went into Messi's feet, under pressure from Mikel Gonzalez. He laid it off first time, and then Mikel Gonzalez was nice and tight, but then he dropped off went back to his central defensive position. And of course, Barcelona just popped the ball back into Messi, who can turn at will. Once he's facing goal in the final third of the pitch, he is going to cause problems. Certainly Mikel Gonzalez had him tight, then dropped off. Messi exploited it.
Adriano shuffles this one back to Victor Valdez, who didn't play in the cup match in midweek. He hasn't actually played a Copa del Rey game since the semi-final of 2008. Valdez. Pinto is the regular Copa del Rey keeper. Here's Cuenca. Cuenca has broken a rather weak challenge from Cadamuro. Because of the Barcelona squad getting stretched this season with absentees and injuries, Cuenca's starting a game for the 12th time in all competitions this season. Certainly caught the eye, hasn't looked overawed by his rise to prominence. The same can be applied to the goal scorer. Talk so much about the young players who come through the La Masia Academy. Cuenca here, one of them, but Teo was once on the books of Espanyol. He didn't actually link up here at the Camp Nou until 2010.
Most people agree, Kevin, don't they, that Real Madrid's strength and depth is a lot more solid than Barcelona. But these youngsters are untried, and you know, the Xavis, the Iniestas were all youngsters once at Barcelona before they got their chance.
Here's Messi. Better defending from Sociedad, who are just below mid-table in the league, with their biggest win of the season last week, 5-1 at home to Sporting Gijón, a result that cost the Sporting coach Manolo Preciado his job. Sociedad had lost their previous game, which was also at home, 4-0 to Atletico Madrid, but that's their only defeat in the last 9 in all competitions. Cadamuro. Fabregas. Well, they gave him time to line up the shot. Looking to add to his very impressive 14 goals this season, Cesc Fabregas.
You see the goal for the pass for Messi into the path of Teo. Could have been David Villa out there, couldn't it? Cutting in from that left side on his right foot. And expertly slides it under the goalkeeper. You can see it's an important game. Pep Guardiola trusts these young players. Keep talking about a whole batch of them coming through again. Been a must-win game for his side tonight. They've got off to a good start, but he's trusted the fact he can play Cuenca, Teo, Dos Santos, Thiago, and still had one eye on the Copa del Rey semi-final second leg against Valencia in midweek, but still believes that this team of young players is strong enough to overcome Real Sociedad.
This is Xavi Prieto. Jonathan Dos Santos is the brother of Giovanni. He's been on the outside looking in for a while at Tottenham, Giovanni Dos Santos. There was some talk about him moving to Spain in the January window.
It appears that he is the holding midfield player at the moment. You see him playing central defence at the moment. Mascherano's pushed into midfield. Just trying to find a way, don't they, of getting the defender out of the back into midfield, overload it centrally, so players from Real Sociedad have to commit themselves.
Here's a surprising line. Don't think I've used this for a while. Barcelona looking for their first win in 4 games. They've drawn the last 3. First time they've done that in 4 years. Here's Messi. Bad news for Real Sociedad is Leo Messi looks very much up for this match after, as we said earlier, somewhat anemic display against Valencia midweek. Valencia worthy of their draw in the end in that cup semi-final. Should be a very interesting second leg here on Wednesday, and we will of course have it for you. Alves. Fran losing out cheaply there to Mascherano, fed forward by Fabregas. It's a super pass. Messi. Back to him from Thiago. It's Lionel Messi. Important save by Claudio Bravo. And he still fashioned a shot at goal at the end of all that, Barcelona.
Messi couldn't get a shot in the first attempt, so he keeps the ball in the 18-yard box. No one can challenge him. Plays the little 1-2 with Thiago, possibly a little slide across the 6-yard box to someone at the far post as well. He went for goal, and another save from Bravo.
Fabregas with the corner. Lucky rebound off the corner flag for Dani Alves. Inigo Martinez having to concede the corner.
The problem for Real Sociedad, Kevin, is just the one player up on the halfway line, totally isolated from the rest of his teammates, and they just can't get out. They're clearing the ball. Mascherano and Puyol, one of them just steps in front, wins it back. It's tough for Ifran.
Away by Cadamuro, only as far as Alves. Adriano. Teo is an unknown quantity, really, for the right-back Carlos Martinez to deal with tonight. He's already seen the youngster run free of him from that Messi pass for the only goal so far. Puyol. Alves. Nice first-time layoff from Messi for Fabregas. Cuenca. Decent try from Thiago Alcantara. Claudio Bravo had read it though.
He does get a real clean strike, but again, it's excellent attacking play. Enjoying watching the youngsters of Barcelona tonight so far. Cuenca that time gets down the right flank. Doesn't just chuck it into the box, hopefully. Picked out Thiago.
Thiago, one of 3 20-year-olds alongside Teo and Cuenca. Dos Santos, just 21. Experienced men watch on. Barcelona going into this game without Xavi, Piqué, Abidal, Iniesta, Busquets, Villa, Alexis, Afellay, Keita and Pedro. Either on the bench, injured, or away on international duty in the case of Seydou Keita. He's with the Mali squad at the African Cup of Nations.
During the transfer window, they released Maxwell as well, didn't they, to PSG, so another player down from the squad. Adriano playing at left back tonight in place of Abidal. He's a handy player to have, isn't he? Two-footed. Can play on the left or the right, both full-back positions or in the wing positions. Just wondering how many left-sided players, right-footed players that Guardiola needs. Got an eye for a goal, they've got a bit of pace. Looking at Afellay, Villa, Pedro, Alexis Sanchez can play now, and now young Teo. You can just tell they're a mirror image of the more senior players that they are replacing. The system in play at Barcelona, where the youngsters are brought up in exactly using the same methods, techniques, tactics as the first year senior players. Sometimes one or two of these youngsters get their chance and they just slot in seamlessly.
Messi. Dos Santos for Adriano. Fabregas. Rather over-elaborate there from Dani Alves. Eventually, the referee has given a free kick against Jonathan Dos Santos with foot up.
So Jonathan Dos Santos there against Ruben Pardo in midfield.
Guardiola, Terry, said he was tempted to move in the winter transfer market. He decided not to. Clearly believes in the youngsters on the fringe of the squad. We've seen how stretched he is this evening. Right decision for you?
Yeah, I think so. I think the best players mostly are not available during the January window. And he knows better than anyone else the quality of the youngsters that he has at the club. We mentioned Adriano can play in different positions, Mascherano can play in different positions, Carlos Puyol can play across the line at the back, Abidal can play across the line at the back. Certainly not doom and gloom at Barcelona, just the one defeat this season so far. And of course they've drawn too many games away from home.
That's been their Achilles heel as they conceded a corner here. Still got work to do maybe, fed in by Aranburu. The flag stayed down, much to Puyol's surprise. Well, nobody got a touch, and I think that's the reason why the assistant on the far side kept his flag down.
I hope that was the reason.
Here's Messi. Adriano. Teo is wide. Thiago. Cuenca. Nice little turn away from Antoine Griezmann.
There we go. See the same problem for Real Sociedad. Barcelona Dani Alves made the mistake, but he worked hard to win the ball back, forced them to play it from back to front long. And Ifran has got no chance up front on his own.
Messi. The referee's pulled play back, not for the second challenge, but the first.
It was Mikel Gonzalez, wasn't it? Criticised for not going tight on Messi earlier. Certainly did on that occasion, but Messi still skipped past him. A bit ambitious, my guess, for a long-range effort.
Messi with the free kick. Foul given against Jonathan Dos Santos.
Doesn't mind a tackle, does he, the youngster? Quite prepared to put his foot in at times.
First league start of the season for 21-year-old Mexican international Dos Santos. He figured 5 times previously this campaign off the bench. Dos Santos, lovely pass to pick out Teo. Thiago losing out. Chance for Real Sociedad to spring at Barcelona here. That would be excellent cover from Javier Mascherano. Almost seems to enjoy his role in the back four these days. Mascherano plays there more often than not. Nice touch from Messi, taken on and over from Fabregas. Lovely little link up there, and Sociedad happy to see the Fabregas shot fly just over.
Yeah, a series of quick passes followed by a quick run from Messi, and just prods it through into the path of Fabregas. He should score. Once Fabregas is in this position, you're expecting him to hit the back of the net. Scooped underneath it. Not a convincing finish from Cesc Fabregas, and Pants. Another chance, passed up again by Barcelona.
Claudio Bravo's also made 2 important saves in the opening 26 minutes, aside from being beaten by the only goal thus far from Christian Teo. Barcelona dominating. Fabregas.
There's nobody in the centre-forward position for Barcelona. 2 central defenders not knowing what to do. They've got no one to mark, they've got no one to pick up. They know that runs are going to be coming in from wide positions, from deep, or Messi turning and running with the ball. Makes life complicated for a big central defender. He prefers to be up against the big traditional centre-forward. At least someone playing definitely in that area.
This is Teo. Always willing to take on the fullback, Carlos Martinez, who gets a foot in there. It'll be a corner. Doesn't lack for confidence, this boy.
So he shouldn't have the time of his life, isn't he? A couple of appearances as sub, then gets his chance, scores a goal. New camp.
Here's Messi. Alves. Pass behind Griezmann. When they are getting the ball, they're really not doing an awful lot with it, and more importantly, not holding on to it for very long. Real Sociedad, that has to improve if they're going to have any chance of getting a result here tonight.
I can't remember them having even a 10-second spell in possession. When we got the ball, it's They can't get out the back.
Thiago tumbles over the challenge from Mikel Aranburu. The veteran in the Real Sociedad side, got an important job at the heart of the midfield. There he is, Aranburu. His debut was at the age of 18 back in 1997. Over 400 games for Real Sociedad. He was part of the team that should have won the title back in 2003. And they had something like a 7-point lead at Christmas over Real Madrid. Blew it on the final day. Messi working it short. Tried to feed Kawinka. Given away. And then straight back to Barcelona as the shot from distance doesn't exercise Claudio Bravo from Dos Santos.
Here is the player that picked up the loose pass from Real Sociedad. Goes for goal. Knows it's going wide from the second it leaves the boot of Jonathan Dos Santos.
Got really fond memories, though, of that Sociedad side that split the big two that season and finished runners-up to Real Madrid. Excellent side with Xabi Alonso and Aranburu, the two central midfield players, Valery Carpin and Javi de Pedro, the wingers, and lethal strike partnership of Darko Kovacevic and Nihat Kaveci. And then that side broke up, and of course Sociedad have been away in the second division since then. Came back at the beginning of last season.
Thiago has been a little bit ambitious in some of his passes, particularly his first time passes, and he's been the one player tonight for Barcelona. A little bit loose, a little bit inaccurate. More than one attack has broken down when it's come to Thiago. More experienced of the youngsters, 20 years of age.
Here's Teo. We've seen plenty of the ball in the first half. Puyol. Fabregas, judged to have pushed Inigo Martinez.
He can feel slightly hard done by here. He's using his body to hold the defender off, who's committed to making that challenge. But they need that second goal, Barcelona. They've dominated possession, dominated play, created 4 or 5 really good chances. Just the one so far. Been snapped up by the youngster Teo. And they can't afford to be complacent, Barcelona. There's no room for error. They have to go on, get the goals, wrap up this game. Too many games this year, they've gone into an early lead. They've taken their foot off the pedal. Real Sociedad away was a perfect example, 2-0 up. Thought they were going to cruise. All of a sudden, 2-2, points dropped. They can't afford those errors again now, Barcelona.
Here's Teo, once again running at Carlos Martinez. There's that pace. Just seemed as though he pushed that too far ahead of him, but blistering movement over 5-6 meters from Christian Teo. He just breezed past Martinez. He did his best to stay upright there, Carlos Puyol. And going to have the first yellow card of the evening. It's gone to Inigo Martinez.
So Carlos Puyol do this earlier in the game. This week against Valencia, I remember him doing a double drag back. You see the pace from Teo, shifts the ball past Carlos Martinez. I think Lionel Messi might be guilty of thinking that the ball was going to go out of play and doesn't realise, perhaps hasn't played yet enough with Teo to know that he's got the pace to catch it.
He knows now. I think Carlos Puyol's confidence in the attacking half of the field knows no bounds at the moment. He is currently on the best season for goals. He's got 3 and 2 in the last 5 games.
Just saw a glimpse there, didn't we, Xabi Prieto? 34 minutes, their most influential player when it comes to creating things for Real Sociedad. And I don't believe we've had any chance to mention him yet, Kevin.
Header on was from Ifran. The whistle is in favour of the reigning champions, looking to make it 4 successive La Liga titles, Barcelona, to match the record of Johan Cruyff's dream team at the start of the 90s. One thing can be guaranteed: Guardiola and his players a long way from giving up on the chase. And why should they, when we're just beyond the halfway stage? So many more games to come, so many over this particular weekend for you to enjoy. Sevilla Villarreal is one of our online offerings on Sky Sports Extra. It should be a good one as well. Sunday evening, Atletico Madrid Valencia on Sky Sports HD1. 10 minutes to half-time. And Barcelona, in keeping with what we see so often here, dominating possession. Should be leading by more than 1-0. Profligate finishing and good goalkeeping has kept it down to the single goal from Teo. Aranburu. Carlos Martinez.
I get the impression, Kevin, that Barcelona need that other goal, and they need it before half-time. I don't believe that Philippe Montagnier can continue these tactics in the second half. And against this young, youthful, inexperienced Barcelona, he might decide at half-time to be a little bit more aggressive in his outlook. Eche might come on and join Ifran.
Got an intruder on the pitch at the moment. That looked like a cat running across the Camp Nou pitch. Not quite as quick as Teo, though, mind you. This is Dos Santos. It's Christian Teo again. Alves just been niggled out there by Griezmann. Fabregas. Adriano. Teo. Once again earning a corner out of Carlos Martinez.
Good defending on that occasion from the Real Sociedad fullback. Carlos Martinez doesn't go to ground, doesn't slide in.
Fabregas with a corner. It's a good take from the Chilean international, Claudio Bravo. It's a good release as well for Ifran. Gets away from Dos Santos. Perfectly timed challenge from Mascherano. Superb defending there from the Argentine. He made the challenge on Ifran. The Uruguayan has stayed down.
There's a little bit of doubt there amongst the Barcelona defenders. You can rest assured that Mascherano's playing. Does see danger. It's one of his assets at the back. He might lack one or two of the normal attributes you need to be a central defender. But him and Carlos Puyol are very vigilant. I think Mascherano goes completely through the football there. And have real contact with Ifran.
Real Sociedad rather at the crossroads of their season right now. 5 points off a European place, but only 4 points above the relegation zone. Had a very poor second half to last season. Montagnier can't be quite sure which way their campaign will turn. Anything they get here would be a bonus, of course. Only Sevilla have come away with something so far from the Camp Nou in this league season. It needed an outstanding performance from their goalkeeper Javi Varas to get a goalless draw. Another Barcelona corner. Puyol showing some interest in it, away by Griezmann.
I'm not sure why they're persisting on using the long corner, Barcelona. There's only 2 players in the box. You see Teo. Hint of a handball there from Mikel Gonzalez. Would have been harsh, I think, against Real Sociedad.
And again, Montagnier will be furious with the ease with which they've given the ball away. It was the experienced Arambarou on that occasion. Have to hold on to possession better than that.
I've seen nothing from them in terms of as an attacking force. No Griezmann, Michel Prieto. Seen nothing of Ruben Pardo, and Ifran has lacked any service, any support. It has to change at half-time. He's got nothing to lose, Montagnier, in terms of being more positive. Barcelona might regret the 2 chances missed by Messi, 1 by Fabregas. They should really have wrapped this game up by now, but Real Sociedad, as we approach half-time, just the 1 goal behind and can only get better.
Got 1 or 2 useful players on the bench, Real Sociedad. Their top scorer this season, Agareche, scored 1 of the goals when the sides drew 2-2 up in the Basque Country in September. Arsenal player currently on loan at Sociedad, Carlos Vela, the Mexican international, also available to Montagnier. And Joseba Llorente, who's bagged some useful goals in La Liga with the likes of Valladolid and Villarreal down the years. He also amongst the substitutes. So Barcelona haven't put this game to bed yet. 4 minutes to go to half-time. Fabregas. Messi. Trying to nutmeg the central defender. The referee, Clos Gomez, has awarded Barcelona a free kick.
9 blue and white shirts there. You could have thrown a net over the entire outfield team almost of Real Sociedad, all in a central area, all in the final third, and really surprised that Barcelona are not making the most of the flanks. There we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in picture there in the replay, all chasing Messi. Somehow Barcelona have got to get those young wingers to tuck in slightly and get the fullbacks to go around the outside. And they'll be able to really get in an abundance of space out in the flanks.
Just about the perfect distance to trouble Claudio Bravo, this free kick. As far as Barcelona are concerned, Messi fancies this one. Dani Alves is there as well. It's going to be Lionel Messi. It's a good Sociedad wall. And there you can see the Barcelona dominance. And that should be reflected in a bigger winning margin.
Should already be a game-winning margin, shouldn't it? But it isn't.
Dos Santos. Alves. Mascherano, Messi, Thiago, Fabregas. Get wide here for Teo. Good steal from Markel Bergara, but couldn't really clear his lines. Here's Thiago. Good run from Dani Alves. Messi. Almost went all the way. This is Dani Alves. Scored recently here. Cracking goal against Real Madrid in the Cup Clásico.
Best to do here is hit the target again. It's a lucky break for Barcelona, but you get that if you're prepared, like Messi, to take players on in the 18-yard box, all aware that the slightest contact can result in a penalty. The ball again breaks free to Dani Alves, doesn't hit the target. It's all he had to do. He went for power and his finish lacked accuracy. Not for the first time tonight, Barcelona pass up another chance.
Pep Guardiola has switched his two wide men. Teo now operating down the right, Cuenca on the left. It's a good challenge from Dos Santos. Here's Mascherano, Fabregas. Messi. Nothing wrong with that challenge from Markel Bergara. Free kick against the Brazilian, Adriano.
I think there was something wrong with that challenge, wasn't there, from Adriano? Right to the back of Aaron Baru. Real Sociedad have got away with it, Kevin. Looks like they're going to go in at half-time, just a one goal behind. As I said, things can only get better for them. They have to improve.
We've had the 1 minute of stoppage time allotted by referee Clos Gomez. We are at half-time. This stage last season, Barcelona were opening up a 7-point lead over Real Madrid at the top of the table. Now they need a win to have a 7-point deficit against Mourinho's side. So far, so good. A first La Liga goal for Teo, and they're 1-0 up. Back, Barcelona strolling, but only that Christian Teo goal ahead of a Real Sociedad side who had one chance for that man, Ifran. One opportunity in that opening half when they sprung the Barcelona back line. Ifran had a one-on-one with Valdez, who made his only telling save of the game. Claudio Bravo, unsurprisingly, has been the busier of the two goalkeepers, and 2 or 3 important saves from the Chilean international. And you have to believe, Terry, that Real Sociedad have got more to offer in the second half.
I think Michael Laudrup was 100% correct. They don't look like they believe that they can get something out of the game.
And this is better. This is a pacey run from Ifran. Can't get round the challenge of Puyol after he skipped away from Mascherano. Almost a carbon copy of the opening seconds of the match when Ifran got away. But it needed Carlos Puyol to tidy up. Now a bit of room for Messi. No changes at half-time, incidentally. Here's the goal scorer, Teo. Oh, shots on here. Oh, easy, he made the room to drive it into the gloves of Claudio Bravo.
And the goalkeeper shouldn't be happy, shouldn't be allowing that. His defenders to get away with how easy Teo found it to just jink inside. I think it's Carlos Martinez. Went for power, went straight at the goalkeeper. Needed to drive it towards that far post. But again, the youngster looks threatening. A little spell, then just before half-time, him and Cuenca swap sides. He's back on his left flank again.
Cuenca's foul on Cadamuro. painful one for the Sociedad left-back.
It's a whack across the shins, and doesn't look much evidence there of a pair of shin pads on the fullback for Real Sociedad.
Cadamuro stepped up from the B team in the summer. Been at Real Sociedad for a little while now. He came in from the French club Sochaux. What we eulogise so often, Terry, about these young players that come into the Barcelona first team, and notwithstanding the natural quality that they've got, we shouldn't forget the fact that they've had quite a rise through the academy. We know about the quality of the coaching that they get at that level, but particularly when they play for the B team, because it's a high standard they're coming from. So they've had a little bit of experience playing against experienced players, if you like, in the second division, and it continues to serve them well. This is nicely worked. Oh, there's no takers for the pullback from Dani Alves. Fullback did brilliantly there.
It needs a poacher there, doesn't it? It needs a David Villa on the end of that. It's a tap in for anyone who anticipates the little give and go. Alves, Messi, back to Alves. And he just scrapes it across, just a yard away from goal. It should be a simple tap in.
It wasn't it David Moyes at Everton, Terry, that was talking recently about trying to get an Everton B team, a reserve team, into a senior league where the young players can earn their spurs, if you like, against experienced players. And of course, that's what Barcelona have. They and Villarreal are the two La Liga clubs that have got their second string in the second division, which is a good standard here.
Certainly, in recent years, Real Madrid have had a team in it, Sevilla. I'm all in favour for the idea. Clubs have to be a long-term commitment from the Premiership clubs that want to take that on. Start down in the low non-leagues. And if they really believe in it, and they want to make it a long-term project, eventually they will get to that higher standard. But what it does then, you coach the players within your club, with the coaches that you employ, the methods of play that you want. You can keep an eye on their progress on a weekly, daily basis, rather than sending them on loan and a different coach taking care of the player, a different manager. And lastly, they get to play at a competitive level in a team framework, and you can't beat it.
Good defending from Cadamuro. Xavi Prieto continues to be on the very fringes of the game.
You think the likes of Teo and Cuenca, Dos Santos this year have been playing against the recently relegated Almeria, Hercules, Deportivo La Coruña in that division. But there's still a game here to be won, and they haven't done that yet. They've had the chances again. A tap in from a yard out for a goal poacher. That probably would have been enough to have seen them clear of Real Sociedad. Well, I believe will eventually show some belief, probably when they think there isn't too much time left for Barcelona to go on and get 4 on 5.
Good run this from Griezmann, got away from Mascherano, and a big save from Victor Valdés. Well, he was brushed out of that rather too easily for comfort, Mascherano, by Griezmann.
It's where he hasn't got the pace to stay with Griezmann, so he tries to hold him off. But it's futile because Valdés is not going to come that far out of his goal. Griezmann gets there, a rush of blood, panics, goes for power. Really could have lobbed it over Victor Valdés. He could have slid it down his right, down his left. But he just hit it hard and hoped. Valdés on hand to make another last-ditch save. A couple of good saves from Valdés.
Would have been a controversial goal. Appeared to use his arm there, Griezmann. Ball definitely struck it. Unseen, I presume, by the officials. Can't have been deemed to have been accidental.
You run that risk, Barcelona, if they haven't finished this game off, taken even half the chances they've created. A mistake like that, maybe a set piece for Real Sociedad. I know it could pay a heavy price.
Messi losing out. Griezmann almost sprung that back line again. He's strong enough to hold off Adriano. This is much better from Real Sociedad. Messi. In towards Teo. It's a lovely pass. Claudio Bravo making a comfortable save at the end. Was he offside? Yes, he was.
Yeah, I think the assistant referee, as soon as Teo touches it, I imagine that's why Teo took on the shot a little bit too early. He's probably looked across, see the assistant referee's flag up.
This has been a terrible ground for Real Sociedad to visit in recent history. They've lost their last 13 league games in this stadium, since 2 goals from John Aldrich and 1 from Dalian Atkinson gave Real Sociedad a win here back in 1991. Those were the days. Mikel Bagaro with a free kick. It's a throw to Real Sociedad.
Similar to Barcelona substitutes warming up. Abidal. Not sure the little fella is.
It's a surprise to see him outside the pitch rather than on it, Xavi Hernandez. Might need 1 or 2 of the experienced heads before the night is out. Forward by Inigo Martinez. Up goes Xavi Prieto. Ifran can't touch that. He was offside and limping. Carlos Martinez.
Certainly having more touches of the ball, aren't they, in the second half? Real Sociedad. A couple of occasions, the left back, Cadamuro, has got across the halfway line. Didn't remotely come close to that in the first half.
Dos Santos. Teo. Carlos Puyol. Mascherano. Ifran still troubled by that leg injury. Here's Messi. Back to him via Fabregas. It's impossible to get through the final challenge there for Messi.
A little bit selfish as well, Kevin, I have to say. So crowded in that packed central defensive area. Teo, as much room as he wanted. Just needed Messi to feed him in. It'd been a replica of the opening goal of the night.
Fabregas. Jonathan Dos Santos. Final touch came off Dani Alves.
You see, Frank kicks through the ball, and I think he kicks the bottom of Carlos Puyol's boot. And for a couple of minutes now, he's been limping around. Decided to seek treatment. Can be painful. But it is painful.
Carlos Vela on loan from Arsenal would be a natural replacement. They have got, as I mentioned earlier, Llorente and Aguirreche, so you might have thought a goal down they would get their leading scorer Aguirreche on if Ifran is to be replaced, which looks likely here. It's Vela getting stripped.
He kicks right underneath the sole of Carlos Puyol's boot, right there, the bottom of the ankle and the top of the foot.
So Carlos Vela, Mexican international, who's at his fourth Spanish club on loan. He's been with Celta Vigo, Salamanca and Osasuna. Also had a spell away from Arsenal at West Bromwich Albion. Vela on for Ifran. Here's Griezmann. Had that chance to make it 1-1. Lost out in that duel with Victor Valdez. Could turn out to be a really important save from the Barcelona #1. Messi, Teo.
Slowly but surely this match is becoming a little bit more competitive, a little bit more even in terms of possession. And also they're carrying out a little bit of a goal-scoring threat now.
Christian Teo. Into space here for Messi. But once again, a tame finish. Had that really good chance in the first half. Had a couple actually in the opening 45 minutes. This is another good opportunity.
And if it was an absolute cert, he throws in one dummy. Inigo Martinez loses him completely.
Just an important touch there, wasn't there, from Mikel Gonzalez, last-ditch defending. As Terry said in first-half commentary, absolutely no margin for error for Guardiola's side, trailing Real Madrid by 10 points after Mourinho's side won the Madrid derby earlier. That finished 1-0. Sergio Ramos with a first-half header. Victor Valdez a little slow to come there as we tick through the hour mark. Barcelona's problems, and the reason they trail Real Madrid by 10 points at the moment has been points dropped largely on the road, 13 of them, as opposed to 2 dropped here. And the first of those 5 away draws came at Real Sociedad back in September. 2-2 it finished after Barcelona let slip a 2-0 lead.
The contrast between the home form and away form is extraordinary. Home 9 wins from 10, 43 goals scored. Away form, just the 4 wins and 16 goals scored in 10 games. Just conceded 2 at home, both in one game against Real Betis, and conceded 10 away goals. If they don't win the league, and those 6 draws that they've picked up so far, just the 1 defeat, but the 6 draws, I can guarantee you they would have been in winning positions in most of those and been in control of the game, and they just let things slip. They had to fight back, didn't they? Athletic Bilbao, and Messi scored a last-minute equaliser. It's come from behind against Valencia at the Mestalla. Messi only scored in 2 away games as well. A hat-trick at Malaga and that last-minute equaliser at Athletic Bilbao.
This is Dani Alves. All the way through to Teo. Might have been cut out there by Carlos Martinez, who's now lost out again to Teo. Appeals for handball against Mikel Gonzalez go unheard. It's a corner. Did it strike the arm here of Mikel? Certainly extended away from his body, maybe reared up off his chest onto his elbow, but perhaps would have been harsh had it been given.
We've seen that exactly before, didn't we, in the first half? Same players.
Yep. Fabregas's corner, nobody really attacking that for Barcelona. It's a sloppy attempt at the pass back from Jonathan Dos Santos. Here's Griezmann, blue and white shirt streaming forward here. Xavi Prieto. Oh, that is given away. Ruben Pardo wasn't expecting the pass, could be costly. This is Messi, surely will be costly. Has to make it 2-0, Lionel Messi, no! Mikel Gonzalez made the block. And here's Griezmann. Mascherano's pace will serve him well. Well, you'd have your mortgage on Lionel Messi in those positions, and just lately, if we can be slightly critical of the great man, just lost his composure a little in and around goal.
Maybe just a little bit too elaborate over that. Once he'd gone round the goalkeeper, I thought he was just going to finish it off. I still expected him to finish it off when he had two players to beat. An open goal. He has been guilty tonight of some glaring misses against Villarreal in the last league match, against Valencia midweek in the Copa del Rey.
Here's Vela. Caramuro. Xavi Prieto. Markel Bagara. Now Martinez. Griezmann's header, watched all the way by Victor Valdez. He's looked better in that centre-forward position, Griezmann. He played ostensibly wide on the left in the first half, Terry, but while Ifran was on, those two players switched, and Griezmann is more of a handful down the middle. We know how quick he is.
He did joke, didn't he, that they should have brought him on at half-time. He was that quiet in the first 45 minutes. And here's the player that gives him a little spark in attack.
Adriano. It's been a rather muted Camp Nou tonight. Crowd looking for something to warm them up. Just 1 degree at kick-off time. I suspect it's dropped to around freezing, or maybe sub-zero now. It's pretty cold all around Spain. It's actually been snowing on the island of Mallorca today. Barcelona brought heat lamps in to protect the pitch, to make sure there was no doubt of a frozen pitch at the Camp Nou. Don't say that very often, do we? Dos Santos. Mascherano. Fabregas. Messi. Too many Sociedad shirts there for Fabregas and Messi to work their magic.
So congested, and at times it's too tight. Have found a route through on 1 or 2 occasions. You see Messi beats the offside trap, jinks his way round Claudio Bravo, and then he has to beat. He should be going round Inigo Martinez there to make sure he's just slotting it into an empty net. He cuts inside on his left foot. The big defender makes a big barrier in front of Lionel Messi. Slightly surprised that he shot. I thought he was going to go round him, skip past him, roll it into the empty net. It just goes to show the best player in the world still snatches at a chance when he's not fully confident.
Cuenca. Inigo Martinez. Wonder if he can get far enough forward to add to his 2 goal of the season contenders, both from inside his own half, but didn't have to be that far forward, did he, to score either of them? One in the Basque Derby against Athletic Bilbao, the other one at Real Betis, which was a last-minute winner and a 3-2 success. They were unbelievable goals from the Real Sociedad centre-back. I doubt he'll score two better in his career, which is still in its infancy. He's only 20. This is Teo. And Carlos Puyol. Oh, he's desperate to get his fourth goal of the season, isn't he?
Oh, he's desperate to wrap this match up. He knows exactly what's needed. Only needs a Johnny on the spot. It needs a poach up in the 18-yard box. Puyol knows exactly that. He tries to get across Inigo Martinez. The cross from Teo just lacks a little bit of power, but it's hit in the right area of the 6-yard box. And Barcelona are living on the edge. They're really making their fans suffer. I think Puyol has had enough. He's going to take the ball by the horns and try and get the second himself.
Here's Alves, a lot of room in which to manoeuvre. Picks his pass beautifully, Cuenca! And now Teo! Now took a touch off Dani Alves, won't count. Well, that would have been a second goal for Christian Teo, but for a touch, an inadvertent touch from Alves. Couldn't get out of the way, just short of the goal line. He was offside, and the goal rightly disallowed.
You see, Dani Alves is the player that makes the bursting forward run. He's offside there when it comes off the post, off the crossbar. And he has to take more action there, Dani Alves. He has to hit the deck. He has to make sure he gets out of the way. He's on the goal line. It takes deflection just in front of him. But the correct decision. That was more like it from Barcelona. It was incisive, it was quicker. They made the most of the width. In these circumstances, with 70 minutes approaching, the amount of possession and chances Barcelona have had, we're looking at a 4 or 5-0 scoreline here. We're now down to 20 minutes, and Real Sociedad know that you can just see the belief creeping into them. They might just be their night, they might just be able to snatch something. Just wonder whether Pep Guardiola's considering 1 or 2 changes. Some decent players on the bench, that's an understatement.
It's a problem here for Messi. Important games coming up. Guardiola will be watching on closely here. Oh, it's a nasty one from Pardo. Just caught his studs on the top of the boot of Messi. I think that little deflection made it awkward for Dani Alves, to be fair to him. Unable to get out of the way. But Barcelona certainly had their opportunities to have had this game won. The goals to chance ratio has been exceptionally high under the stewardship of Guardiola. Just dropping a little bit in recent weeks.
One or two wondering, Kevin, where it was over the line before it hit Dani Alves.
It was tight. Jonathan Dos Santos. Teo has had an impressive full league debut. It was only his Primera Division baptism off the bench at Villarreal last week. Carlos Martinez just about coming out on top in that particular duel for the first time tonight.
Just up the tempo a little bit now, Barcelona. Took them a while to get going in the second half. 1 or 2 scares. Alves particularly pulling off a good save against Griezmann. A bit more urgency being shown now.
Teo. Dos Santos. Fabregas. Thiago. Cuenca. Alves. Looking for Messi. Oh! He looks second best there against Claudio Bravo, but never underestimate the powers of Lionel Messi. strokes in Barcelona's second. And a very welcome second goal, that is, for the reigning champions. Now they should see it to a very important 3 points.
And we talked and we remarked about the lack of belief amongst the Real Sociedad team. Messi keeps missing chance after chance tonight, but he never stops believing. This is probably the hardest chance he's had this evening. He somehow, I think he was going to use his right foot to wrap it around Claudio Bravo. Good little pass from Dani Alves. Messi running away from goal. He's so quick, scampers over 3 or 4 yards so quickly. And he's able to get there in time, control the finish. And he wasn't getting desperate, he wasn't panicking, but he'd be mightily relieved. And he's got the second. Very grateful to Dani Alves for a superb pass. But it would have been playing on his mind, 1 or 2 of those misses tonight. But the great player that he is, kept believing he'd get one.
Griezmann, good pass here. Vela onside, scores! The man on loan from Arsenal, Carlos Vela, gives Real Sociedad some hope here. Fed by the pass from Antoine Griezmann, and the substitute beats Valdez.
He'd be furious, Valdez. He'd be disappointed with himself, but I don't think really should be. Carlos Puyol will be disappointed with the way his team thought they'd wrapped up the game. They're back to square one. That goal for Messi. Thiago loses possession. Griezmann feeds it into Carlos Vela. And that's a great finish. Doesn't panic. At the new camp, faced with Victor Valdez, not one of those players that just goes for power. He makes sure he slots it past Victor Valdez. Just for a minute or so, Barcelona had a 2-goal lead, but Real Sociedad snapped right back.
Well, from their point of view, it's exactly what they had to do. And it remains an interesting watch here at the Camp Nou. Here's Fabregas, and Thiago deflected over. Vital touch there. I think from Inigo Martinez. That's surely a corner. Can't have given a goal kick here. There's a clear deflection there from Inigo Martinez. It should be a corner.
It was obvious to everybody, wasn't it? It was deflection. It certainly wasn't off of Thiago. Here's the shot and goal, and it deflects over.
Barcelona going to make a switch. Carlos Puyol coming out. Plenty of football still to come this weekend. A couple of online offerings via Sky Sports Extra. Zaragoza at home to Rayo Vallecano. Atletico Madrid hosting Valencia. 2 games for you Sunday evening. And another offering online from Sky Sports Extra on Monday as the La Liga coverage continues here from Sky Sports. Off comes Jonathan Dos Santos to be replaced by Sergio Busquets. Just a little bit of experience, insurance at the back, and Abidal for Puyol as the other change. Quarter of an hour to go. Busquets. Well, we apologise for the breakup in pictures that you were experiencing.
OK, well, apologies for loss of pictures and sounds. It's pretty cold in England. It's very cold in Spain. So we'll get back to the game as soon as we can. Barcelona against Real Sociedad. Are we expecting a little bit of a better second-half performance from Barcelona? But we're also maybe expecting better from Real Sociedad. Have we got that from both teams?
Yeah, I think so from both teams. And we expect a lot of things. Also, better weather in Spain. What's,
yes.
what's next? It's snowing in Mallorca and all that. Yeah, I think that... after 45 minutes, we talked about the Real Sociedad. They had to believe a little more to succeed, and I think we've seen that in the second half. They had some couple of chances. Griezmann had a big one, mano a mano with Valdez. They scored the goal just after Messi supposedly ended the game. So yeah, they're still in the game in the last 15 minutes.
Is it as simple as just a bit of belief they had for the second half?
I think so. As I said after first half, I mean, you know it's very difficult to play at the Camp Nou. But how often do you have the possibility to play against a team without Iniesta, Xavi, Piqué, Busquets, Villa injured, Alexis also on the bench? Of course, they still have good players, but these youngsters, even if they're very talented, it's not the same level. But you have to go there. It is possible. So I think they missed that for the first 45 minutes. They did a lot better in the second half. Of course, they will still give chances away. We've seen Messi at 2 or 3 chances, but he will have them anyway. So if you try something, and I think they've done a lot better. Maybe they will end losing the game because there's a difference in quality, but at least you tried.
Lionel Messi has had plenty of chances. He's finally scored his first in 4 games as well. Was it one of his most difficult chances?
Well, I don't know if it was the most difficult for him, but if you look at the chances he had in this game, you can say so. But it's a great pass here we see from Dani Alves. It's great. It's a great finish. Remember of our goal. I remember that Maradona scored in a World Cup. So yeah, it's.
But he's had a lot of easier chances, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. You'd expect him to put away. He could have had at least a hat-trick tonight, couldn't he?
Yeah, but as we heard the commentators say, well, at least he's continued. He goes for it. I mean, he can miss 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, but in the end, he will always score because he has so much individual quality. So and we've seen that.
And yet Real Sociedad are back in the game. A goal from Carlos Vela. It was a good finish, but again, did Barcelona sometimes look as if they're struggling defensively? Or was it a lack of concentration?
Yeah, a little. But we're used to that. They can, here where they miss, it's to lose the ball there. It's it's a gift you can't give to anybody at this level. But still, we're used to that. Barcelona is playing the ball even there in that zone that we just saw. But yeah, that's the difference maybe. Even if Thiago has quality, these players, we're used to it because it's Xavi or it's Iniesta, so it's no problem. You can play just out of the 16 box. But here a miss there, and it's a chance for the opponent.
As you say, Griezmann had a wonderful chance as well, didn't they? Real Sociedad have really come back into it in the second half.
Yeah, they did. We saw a ball from Griezmann. He's running there with Mascherano, and he's a good player. He had, especially last season, he had a good season. He started a little at a lower level this season and had some maybe not so fortunate commentary about that he would like to go to Atletico Madrid. So people were a little on top of him. But yeah, he put that away, and he's now thinking once more only about Real Sociedad, and he's a quality player.
You mentioned about the players who aren't playing. What about the players who are playing? I'm thinking in particular the youngsters and Christian Teo. Has he impressed you tonight?
Well, I think a lot. I mean, we're talking about a guy who's been playing nothing. It was his debut in the league, and if you see him, it's like a player who already played 20 or 30 games at the highest level. So I know it's not the most difficult place to come in to play with Messi and people like that, but still, you know, to go from playing in the second team, the second division, to play with the best players, was still a little lack of you're a little nervous, but I think he's done fantastic, and I think we will hear a lot more from him in the future, in the nearest future.
OK, well, we're very happy to say we do have live pictures now from the Camp Nou. Sergio Busquets getting stretchered off at the moment. Let's head back to our commentary team, Terry Gibson and Kevin Keatings.
Yes, welcome back. Gerard Piqué coming on for Sergio Busquets. And I hope that's not a bad injury for Busquets, because Cesc Fabregas was holding his hands to his face and looked pretty upset when he viewed close up there the problem for Busquets, who's only been on for 2 or 3 minutes off the bench. Guardiola's got plenty of injury problems to contend with right now. Glad to say pictures are back for you again since you went away. Joseba Llorente has come on for Real Sociedad to replace Pardo. And Aguirreche, as you can see, is on now for Xavi Prieto. It's Montañez Sociedad still look here for an unlikely point at the Camp Nou, having been 2-0 down. Messi putting Barca 2 up in this second half, but almost immediately Carlos Vela reduced the deficit. Barcelona not over the line yet. Draws no good to them, trailing Real Madrid as they do currently by 10 points in the race for the La Liga title.
It's a big shame for Busquets. You can see Piqué's gone into central defence alongside Abidal. Mascherano pushed into midfield. Looked quite serious injury, didn't it, for Busquets? The sort of players looked quite distressed. In particular, Cesc Fabregas, I think it was a gash just under the knee.
Teo. He's had a very impressive full league debut. Thiago. Stabbed forward by Dani Alves, under pressure though, and rolls out for a goal kick to Sociedad. 5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time.
The fact that Barcelona haven't finished off this game has allowed Philippe Montagnier the option of putting on Aguirreche and Llorente.
Here's Vela.
It's a lively old front four now, isn't it? Griezmann, Vela, Aguirreche. And Llorente. If they can get the ball forward in advanced positions. You see Aguirreche there, slightly offside. Carlos Vela likewise. They've got some pace up there. They've got some 1 or 2 players who know where the back of the net is.
Plenty of anxiety being expressed there by Guardiola. Never seen him more animated than he was in the Cup semi-final first leg at Valencia in midweek. That 1-1 draw. That tie is still very much alive for the second leg here on Wednesday. And we'll have the whole game live for you Wednesday night, as we will the Tuesday semi-final second leg between Athletic Bilbao and Little Mirandés from the Segunda B, the third tier of Spanish football. 2-1 Athletic lead from that first leg, and they conceded 3 goals at home this weekend in what sounds like a cracking game against Espanyol. Athletic Bilbao 3, Espanyol 3 from earlier today. But it would be a major story if Mirandés were to make the Copa del Rey final. Only the second club from the third tier ever to get to the last 4. And no club from that level has ever got to the final itself. This is Fabregas. Pass a little short for Piqué, who's having to work hard to maintain possession. Very untidy. It'll end in a Barcelona free kick. I'm not sure Piqué welcomed the pass. Sloppy, not lost on Guardiola.
So he wants width, get it wide. I've been saying that all night. They haven't made the most of that tonight. Piqué's taking a knock now. He's come on for Busquets, who was only on for 5 minutes and got injured.
Llorente has picked up a yellow card.
Barcelona not exactly holding on, but it's anxious time here at this stage of the game. Pep Guardiola knows that the Real Sociedad attackers are more potent now. Real Sociedad not going to be too fussy how they get the ball forward.
Mascherano can't go back to Valdez. Here's Abidal. Carlos Vela, did he collect that with his arm? Right in front of the assistant referee. Kept his flag down. That raises it now against Vela as we head towards the 90th minute. Next week, Barcelona have the more difficult of the two games against their title rivals. Barca will go to Osasuna, who are having a good season in the top half of the table and never easy to beat at home, whilst Real Madrid will be enjoying home advantage against Levante, who are just about clinging on to fourth place at the moment after their tremendous start. Ebbed away a little bit for the club from Valencia in recent weeks, but still a fantastic first half to the season for little Levante. But on paper, at least, Barca look to have the more difficult fixture. And not over the line in this one yet. You can sense the anxiety in the stands here. I think there'd be at least 3 minutes of time to be added on. Valdez again a little slow to come off his line.
Piqué's come on for 10 minutes. He's had to make about 4 or 5 really stern challenges.
4 minutes, the minimum of. Here's the scorer of the opening goal tonight, Christian Teo. Throw earned here by Thiago. Nice footwork there from Thiago. He was wanting a free kick. Referee says play on. Bit of space now for Griezmann. Cadamuro getting a foot in. Helped on by Markel Bagara. This is Llorente. And now Messi. Eats up a little more time there, Lionel Messi. This is where Thiago wanted a free kick.
They've been increasingly more and more untidy in the second half, Barcelona. It was a bright start for them. Teo giving them the first goal in the 9th minute. But I just think time and time again this year, they've been guilty of being far too complacent. Mascherano been their best player tonight. It's in defence.
This is Fabregas. Disappointing shot. Had a long time to size that one up, says Fabregas. Rather in keeping with what we've seen for parts of this evening. They have created a lot of chances, but they always do here at the Camp Nou. It's just that they've been found wanting in front of goal. Some good chances along the way. And it's been rather too close for comfort. And it has been creeping in. Terry's absolutely right. At times this season, they come 5–10% off their A game, lack that extra intensity, and even a side as good as they are can come unstuck. Now that save from Griezmann looks a really important one from Victor Valdez earlier in this second half. They're just about a minute away now from 3 very important points.
Close him down and shoot.
It's Inigo Martinez. It's a brilliant ball out from the back. This is Vela. Useful cross in. The header doesn't have the sting to really extend Victor Valdez. I think they've just about done enough here now. It's a good Valencia team coming here in the Cup semi-final, second leg on Wednesday. Barcelona will need to play better than this, and certainly need to be better around goal if they're to live up to their favourites tag to reach a 3rd Spanish Cup final in 4 seasons.
You can see Pep urging his team on. Almost looks like they're running on empty, some of the players for Barcelona. Individually, they haven't been great, particularly in the second half. Wasteful in front of goal, been slightly selfish, 1 or 2 players, Messi in particular, when it comes to playing in other players in better positions to finish off the chances and wrap the game up.
Well, they've done enough. The gap between themselves and Real Madrid is back to 7 points. Still a long way to go in this La Liga season, and Barcelona have overcome Real Sociedad by 2 goals to 1.